Hello and welcome back to the JJ's Declutter podcast. We have, well, it must be the beginning of the month because it's time for magazine.
It's that time of the month.
Yes, we did just say that. It is time for magazine moments, and we're going to put on our Judgy Pants.
Yep, we're going to put on our Judgy Pants. So today's article is from the Spruce.com. It's called 6 Things Pro Organizers Throw Away Before Summer Begins, and You Should Too. It was published on May 16th of this year, so 2025.
Oh, wow.
So what are the 6 things that you think people should throw away before summer begins?
They're throw away. Well, they're winter decorations.
Yeah.
And before summer begins, that's the first one. I would probably go through my pantry too, because if there's stuff that is wintry stuff. Oh, really? Okay. Because if there's stuff,
you're doing good.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So I'd also go through seasonal clothing. So the seasonal clothing, and we're talking before summer, the pantry, the decor that goes with the seasons. That's only 3.
Okay, let's get started.
Okay, let's
all right. So it's first it says sort through old winter clothing and accessories, outdoor toys, and linens that you no longer use or wear. Okay,
they lumped that all together.
We're going to talk about it in detail.
Gotcha.
And they're talking about cleaning out your freezer and pantry of old goods and give all the dirty surfaces a quick wipe down. And they're also recommending sorting through school papers and recycling any excess so clutter doesn't build up. So let's talk about old winter clothing and accessories. What would you declutter there?
I love accessories. So, okay. Your winter clothing, and I can see going through as you wash it and go to put it away or store it. Make sure, is this something I will want to pull out next winter or not? Does this still fit? Does it need mended? All that kind of stuff. So you can go through your clothing that way and get rid of a bunch. I have some pieces that I have had for probably 15 years, but they are pieces that I wear a bunch in the cold months. So
yes, it depends on really where you live too, because like if you live in Northern California, it's colder in the summer than it is in the winter. They say that, I think it was somebody said the coldest winter I ever had was June in San Francisco or something like that. I don't remember.
Right.
But it's true. There was so much fog one year when I went up there for the 4th of July that you could not see the fireworks that they were shooting off near the bridge because it was cold and foggy.
Oh, too funny.
So it does talk about, as you prepare to switch your closet over to summer, take time to go through your winter clothing and accessories and part ways with the things that no longer speak to you.
And if there's things that you haven't been wearing,
it
may the whole winter has gone through and you haven't even put that on. Maybe you don't need that in your winter clothing anymore.
Exactly. That's what they are saying. That donate any sweaters that you haven't worn the last season. And Julie has not seen this article as far as I know.
No.
So we're agreeing. We're not being real judgy here, which is interesting. Maybe.
Well, judges do say guilty and not guilty. So sometimes we have to give them the other side.
But it does talk about not only donating sweaters that you haven't worn, but tossing stray gloves that are missing their matches.
Right.
Get those out of the house. And probably put it on a list that you may need to buy a new pair of gloves when the season comes through again, in the fall. So that was the first one. The second one is expired, frozen, and pantry goods.
Right. And that's where I go through And there's things that we will only do like chili and cornbread in the cold months. Even though some people like to put chili on their hot dogs, we don't do that here. So if I have chili that is not,
Julie put her Judgy Pants on again. She doesn't want you to put a chili on your hot dog. There's nothing wrong with putting chili on hot dogs. It's just Julie and
right.
Phil don't, that's not what they normally do. It's all good. Julie's laughing.
He'll do sauerkraut before he'll do chili
Really?
stuff. Yeah.
Well, yeah, he put sauerkraut and all sorts. I got to spend almost a full week with Phil and Julie, and yes, he did love his sauerkraut.
Oh my gosh.
So
Yeah.
the reason you want to do a freezer clean out is because it's probably been a while since you did it, and you want to make room for those freezer popsicles and the ice cream.
Oh my gosh. It's
So
interesting. I used to work in a grocery store and you were saying ice cream. We sold more ice cream when it was freezing outside than in the summer.
really,
Yeah. Ice cream was
why do you
something
think?
didn't matter what time of year ice cream sells. And when it's cold out, people couldn't even drive. They'd walk to the store on their, skis and get ice cream.
Maybe it's the sugar in the milk and the
Must
eggs.
be, must be.
Okay, so what they want you to do is to go through everything in your freezer and toss any expired goods as well as items that you can't identify. Which I think is a funny thing to say because yes, I have things in my freezer that I cannot identify. And then give the inside of your freezer a good wipe down to address any spills, stains, and the like. And you might find that this cleaning ritual will make a big difference in how your ice cream and your ice taste. Because these weird spills can sometimes add an
Odor.
unwanted flavor.
Oh, gotcha.
And so they also say that next up you will want to tackle your pantry and give that some attention. Go through the shelves and part ways with expired condiments or ingredients, and be sure to check expiration dates and clear out and make a new shopping list. Now
Right.
you've made room for the fresh summer staples. What are some of the things that you stock up with during the summer that you don't necessarily buy during the winter for your pantry?
Sweet tea vodka. I mean,
I
I
like
drink.
doing pasta salads.
Yeah,
So
pasta salads are good.
I'll start stocking up on the Italian dressing and the shape of pasta that I like. Olives, because
Hmm.
I normally will put olives in there. Those are the main pantry things that I stock up on during the summer.
We make sure that we have the extra condiments, the like mustard in both Dijon and yellow, um, mayonnaise, all that for making potato salad and
Relish
peppery salads and stuff.
or pickles.
Um, yeah, so that's kind of what we make sure we get. We don't really plan ahead.
Right.
We will go, for instance, if we go to the butcher shop and you see all these amazing things in their case, then we'll stand there and we'll write a menu just talking to each other. We'll write like a month's menu as we're looking at all the different things that they have. And we do the same like at Costco. So we'll get the steaks in bulk and all that kind of stuff so we can stick them in the freezer. But it's not a whole lot of stuff. We tend to shop more fresh
And that's
because there is
good. Yeah.
in the summer.
We eat more baked beans in the summer.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know
was
what.
gonna make baked beans and
Well,
I didn't, but I have the ingredients.
and I never ate baked beans until my husband, and
Oh,
they ate a lot of baked beans in Chicago area.
hmm.
So we have baked beans now. It's
Interesting.
interesting
Yeah, that's
seasonal
always
differences.
done. Yeah, we've always had baked beans in barbecues, and picnics. So I was
We
gonna make it
didn't.
from scratch.
But we had potato salad, we had macaroni salad, but then I guess our picnics tended to have. I mean, we had fried chicken, we had teriyaki chicken, we would have different things like that. We didn't necessarily. My dad never was a big fan of hamburgers. We didn't have a lot of hamburgers and hot dogs when we were growing up. We had steak. We had so much steak.
Thing.
I mean, we used to beg my dad to bring home chicken or hamburger
Oh wow. It's like we're
because
done with
all he would bring home the breakfast steaks, which means we were actually eating petite filet mignon as children, and we did not appreciate it because we're like, oh God, we have the steak again. Let's get back to old summer accessories. So
uh,
that's the third thing on the list is old summer accessories. Before it comes time to pack up your beach bag for the season, you'll want to go through all of your summertime and beach accessories and decide what is worth keeping versus tossing. And that
so that's
includes,
flops and sun hats and you also need to double check your sunscreens that you still have
yep.
because they do expire and they don't
Mm-hmm.
and you need to have something on your skin you can trust. And what else? The koozies for around your pop
Yep.
cans.
Pretty
Um,
much you've hit all of them.
hmm,
Yep. So take inventory of the things that are still in good enough condition
right,
to continue to use. Get rid of the things that are expired or broken
right,
and put that on a list of things that you're going to need to replenish because it's important to have the proper attire or whatever.
right,
So take the time to toss or donate anything that's no longer a favorite or is too worn to use again this season. And it says you'll thank yourself when you're not sifting through all kinds of stray items.
right,
That makes
right.
sense.
I tend to, at the end of the season, it gets cleaned and it's in one tote. So I know right where that stuff is. And I do the same with our camping things too. I make sure that all the camping kitchen stuff is in well, actually I have two totes because I love my kitchen utensils. So, so I have two things for the camp kitchen, but I do that at the end of the summer. So then when I pull it back out the next summer, I go through it again. It's like,
Yes.
I use that. Do I really? I don't know. Because a lot of times as I'm packing things up, I'll be kind of on the fence. And so if I'm in doubt, I'm not going to throw it out. I'm going to wait to throw it out. When in doubt, wait to throw it out. That's how you do it with decluttering.
Unless you can find it on sale at the end of the season and you buy it and then you use the one in, one out rule because you
So,
bought one thing. You're going to toss the one that you're replacing. Or like Julie says, one in, two out. So the fourth thing they're talking about getting rid of before summer is old linens and towels
well, that's
because
interesting.
you should evaluate your beach towel collection, which, see, I use my beach towels 5 days a week because of my aqua aerobics and I live in Southern
Right.
California. And this is not the one I thought it was. This one has good edges. I have one
Uh,
that I just folded up that I was I was looking at Costco thinking I should buy some new towels because I have one towel that's really ratty and it's probably time to make it a dog towel rather than a people towel.
yeah, we have and the beach towels we tend to leave in the camping totes. Although I did buy two new ones this year because they were on sale and they're both rainbows and they're really pretty. And we have a hot tub and we're going to set the hot tub back out. And I want to use those towels, not my regular bath towels for the hot tub.
There you go.
So yeah, it's an inflatable hot tub. We're not big, rich, ritzy people taking up 80 square feet for a hot tub. And we
So
love
if
it.
so they're talking about as you evaluate your beach towel collection, take the time to go through your linen closet as a whole.
Okay,
So
so
keep
linen closet as a whole. If you live in a home that has a linen closet, absolutely go through it. Mine are, I don't have a linen closet. I keep the sheets stay under the bed. The towels that we have are on the rack in the bathroom. Um, and then I have tablecloths and some aprons
my
in
linen closet
our
is a
bed.
mess right now. There are blankets all stacked all on top of each other. I really need to do that.
Yeah,
Um, but it also says keep in mind that rather than throwing away textiles like these, it's always best to donate them. And old sheets and blankets can also be donated to traditional thrift stores as well as animal shelters.
right, right. Good idea. Yeah, we do have a few towels. See, but I really like bath, what do you call them? Like a bath
Bath
blanket?
sheets,
Bath sheets.
the
Yes,
sheets, yeah.
the great big ones. Love those. My husband hates those.
Really?
Yeah. So they have all ended up, they've pretty much ended up out in the garage because when he comes in, when he needs a towel for something, he'll come in and he'll take one of the bath sheets because he doesn't
Oh my gosh, that's interesting. Yeah,
it's just
I left
fine.
when I grew up and got a job, right? And I could buy my own stuff, I bought bath sheets and I really like them. But then when you have little kids, it's better to have regular small towels because they're small, number one, and they use a
Right.
lot of them, especially have girls. Girls use a lot of towels. They like use, I can't
Yeah.
believe how many towels.
There's one to dry off with, and then there's one to wrap around them, and then
And then
there's the
one for
one
the wrap around the
for the
head.
hair,
Yeah,
and
my kids use so
one
many
on the
towels.
floor that they could, step on so they don't get their really clean feet dirty. So, yeah.
Okay, so the fifth thing that they're talking about getting rid of are old outdoor toys.
Hmm.
So if
Yes.
your children have outgrown certain outdoor toys and they're not reaching for them this season, part ways with them now.
Right. Right.
And it says kids grow fast, but clutter grows faster. So
Yeah.
being proactive will help make your space for newer toys and equipment that your little ones will be excited to reach for this summer. Um, and she also says that worn out toys can be not only an eyesore, so they don't look good, but they can
They
also be a safety hazard.
gotcha. Yeah. Well, we have I like to put a lot of little decor in my gardens. And I started doing it as fairy gardens when the grandgirls
Right.
were much smaller. And so now they're all grown, but we have one great grandson. So we have one little one, and everybody else is beyond grandma's garden. So um, but so I'm getting rid of a bunch of the little characters and things that I have around the yard because I've had them for a long time. Some of them I even got at the Dollar Tree and they've been living in the garden for like 10 years. It's like not a bad buck. And that's when the Dollar Tree was cheaper. So yeah, it is really a good idea to just go through. And the interesting thing is you don't have to replace the toys and things that you're
Right.
removing. You just get rid of them.
Yeah.
And kids won't even notice. They will not notice because most parents have, if you got kids, most parents have a sprinkler they can turn in the kids can run through.
Do kids still run through sprinklers?
They do. Yes. Amazing,
Not
isn't
in
it?
Orange County. No, Mom, can we go to the lake? Okay, yeah, we can go to the lake. We pack stuff up. Mom, can we go to Wild Rivers? Yes, we can go to Wild Rivers because we happen to have a season's pass, so we pack up and go to Wild Rivers. I don't think my kids have ever run through a sprinkler.
Oh, well, Aunt Julie may
I
need to come
sure
down there
did.
and teach your girls a few things.
Okay, and the last thing that they
Mhm.
recommend that you go through are school papers. So,
Oh,
because it's the end of the school year, you probably collected some of your kids' artwork, papers, reports, all this other stuff that they've written that you've kept on. So it may be a good idea to sort through and only keep the best and get rid of the rest.
And ask your kids which one, you know, you get to keep, say two. We've got, 15 things out here, and you get to keep two of these. Which two do you want to keep? And let the kids decide, because it's always fascinating to me how they are so proud of one thing that you hardly noticed. You're so proud of this other thing that they hardly care about, so it's fascinating to see what really sparks interest for the parents and for the kids. But I would let your kids have a little say in that. Maybe get rid of half of them and then ask. And if there is, I had a teacher ages ago, really long ago. There was a couple things that I had written that my teacher had never given back to us. And I really wanted to get that back. And I waited too long to ask her, and the school year was over, but she had already cleaned out her room and those things had already gotten recycled. So I would suggest that people towards the end of the school year ask the kids, is there anything that we haven't seen? Is there something that you want to make sure that you bring home from school?
Yeah.
Just so, because I really, that is still something that hangs on with me. And I graduated 46 years ago. So, I mean, I'm an old broad. But I just think that's important, that kids know that they can ask for things back.
Yeah.
And especially artwork.
And they're saying, unless it's a sweet drawing or a spelling test that you want to frame, recycle those paper piles.
Yeah, that's a really good idea. And one of the things you can do, if you are, I know this is silly, but if you are a composter, you can shred those papers and have the kids put in the compost. And so they can actually see you using their schoolwork to help grow things in the garden. And that's kind of a fun thing. And kids, once they think about that, they're probably going to be wanting to play with your shredder all the time. You better lock up the important papers.
So that was 6 things pro organizers throw away before summer begins.
There you go. Well, we agree with most of that. That's true. All makes sense. So yay for them. So, okay, we'll give that one kind of our stamp of approval. And I guess we're going to have to wash our Judgy Pants. So. Yeah.
It was a good thing. I think it was a good thing to remind people of, though, at the beginning of the summer, at the end of the school year, to go through, the school papers and to start getting ready for summer fun.
Right. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for us to bid you adieu. And this is the latest issue of Magazine Moments. Put on your Judgy Pants. And we will see you again very soon. So until then, keep it simple.
Keep it intentional.
And as always,
keep decluttering. Bye. We're better at doing that at the same time when we're in the same room. Geez, I wonder why.